Germany starts universal basic income trial, giving some citizens 1,400 euros a month for 3 years. What would you do if you had that? 3 years of 1,400 euros a month. Now, that type of income in Europe, I have to tell you, is enough to take care of your rent for a 2-bedroom house, take care of your food, clothing, your insurance, your gas, etc. So that's not bad. So what would you do if you were one person living alone? Now, if you had a spouse, that would be even better. If your spouse had the same thing going on or was working, what would you do? I know some people would do volunteer work. Some people would go back to school, get a higher education. Some people would perhaps volunteer in some third world country, doing something like nursing, or if they were a doctor, I don't know. They would obviously do something to improve their life. In brief, a small trial in Germany is set to take place, giving participants 1,400 euros for 3 years. They will compare the lives of those who received it. That's about over $1,600 a month. They will compare the lives of those who receive it and the participants who don't. And why is this concept of universal basic income rejected by the major political parties in most developed nations? Why do we have a private company like the Federal Reserve printing or creating money at will? Is centralized banking the best way? So what happened? Germany is starting a universal basic income trial where volunteers will get this much every single month as a part of a study that will compare the experiences of 120 volunteers who receive this to 1,380 people who do not receive this, and a total of 140,000 people have come together to help fund the study after the idea of a universal basic income continues to gain popularity. Germany is not the only country who has begun such initiatives. Finland also did something very similar a few years ago, and proponents of the initiative believe it would improve people's lives and reduce inequality, among other things. Opposition arguments to this type of initiative suggest that it would simply be unaffordable, too expensive, and also discourage work. Now, the thing is that if you have volunteers doing things that people would not normally do, it would better society, obviously. Now, the question is, as many of us have been made to believe that our financial system is for the greater good, that it's sufficient and the only possible way to operate here on the planet. And when it comes to the world of finance, our minds are stuck inside of this box. When it comes to universal basic income, is it really too expensive? For those who believe it's not feasible, do you think that Mark Skidmore, a Michigan State University economist, teamed up with multiple researchers, including Catherine Austin Fitz, former Assistant Secretary of Housing and Urban Development, and found trillions of unaccounted for dollars missing from housing and the Department of Defense? Did you know that trillions of dollars are going into black budget programs that the president, for example, has no idea about? Did you know that there is no branch or agency of government that can overrule actions of the Federal Reserve, that the actions that the Federal Reserve takes? So it's simple. If you control the money supply, if you are the printer and make the money, you control the population, create an experience you want humans to live inside. The researchers found documents indicating a total of $20 trillion of undocumented adjustments had been made from 1998 to 2015. The original documents, government documents in a report described can be found where updates are continually provided. The image of $21 trillion allocated to a universal income package. Big financial institutions seem to have no issue with constantly printing money when they need it, but when it comes to concepts of universal income, there's always excuses. So we have to ask ourselves, is this really too expensive when this type of misallocation of money is happening? And this is, and I'll leave a link below for you for this. This is on NWO Report and Intel Dinar Chronicles Blogspot. And I'll leave links. Please leave your comments. Thank you. If you'd like to join me on my Patreon account, you will hear content not covered by mainstream media. These riveting stories will be based on my research, and I will state my opinions and give my personal insight on diverse and controversial subjects and world events not covered by mainstream media, and not supported by YouTube guidelines. So whatever I have on my Patreon, most of those will not be on my YouTube channel. Please consider becoming a member today. More of the most significant and important videos will be on my Patreon channel. Your support helps me to continue my research and keeps this YouTube channel alive. And we depend on your support, your generous charity, because we help economically challenged families here in Athens, Greece, in Kapota, and we also help the young generation with university tuition and the community around our church. Thank you.